Jay Schlatt and dark humor. Two things I covered in my recent video and got a nice amount of backlash for. Considering I haven't seen backlash like this since, one of my videos on Dream possibly doing a face reveal, I feel, obligated to respond to this and give my take on it because a lot of it is actually justified. Even though most of the comments down below are support for my video and people saying Jay Schlatt isn't homophobic or racist, there were quite a few dislikes. Even though they didn't leave a comment, at least half of them didn't, I'm still gonna cover it. So yeah, for those who don't know who Jay Schlatt is, he's an edgy YouTuber who makes edgy jokes on a very frequent basis, and that's the reason he gets a lot of hate, and I decided to cover the hate in one of my videos. The literal top pinned comment in my video is me saying I don't think all of Jay Schlatt's jokes are funny because some of them are and some of them are to me. Before I get into reading some of the comments and giving my entire stance on them, I need to say certain people have a different state of humor and some people like different jokes and find different jokes offensive. It may have just been how I was raised on the internet versus some of the new gen people to the internet, but I don't know. I don't find some of Jay Schlatt's jokes as offensive, rather just an edgy joke to get a shock factor. And then there's people who are trying to cancel Jay Schlatt for, making an edgy joke every now and then. And to the people that like to cancel him, I am not going to deny the fact that Jay Schlatt makes edgy jokes, but I think canceling, if you really look at it as retrospect, which is canceling someone's career or ending their livelihood, is not necessary to come to action because of that. And if you disagree with my stance on Jay Schlatt, please stay to the end of the video as I elaborate more on why I agree with this stance and more on why I can agree with the other side of this stance towards the end. With that all being said, let's get straight into my thoughts on this topic. The first thing I'm going to cover is a minor detail that a lot of my commenters pointed out to me. Dehumanization. Dehumanization is the denial of full humaneness in others and the cruelty and suffering that accompanies it. To simplify that, that's basically treating someone like they're not human and treating them like they're a wild animal. And if there was a strike mark on when I'm going to get canceled just from one video, here's my second one, because trigger warnings are the main reason that Jay Schlatt and Dream are being dehumanized on their platform. If you don't use Twitter, you may not know what trigger warnings are, but they're basically little indicators to help people that have trouble, understanding what a tweet's, intent is, like what a person's meaning, if it's sarcasm, if it's like serious. And the reason that I'm, categorizing this with dehumanization is people are putting trigger warning Jay Schlatt and trigger warning Dream. Now, I want you to think of this in your situation. If you were just scrolling on Twitter and you see trigger warning Dream or trigger warning Jay Schlatt, when, in my personal opinion, here's my hot take, when you're doing a trigger warning, I think they're totally fine. I don't mind if you use them, but put trigger warning and the reason why, you're putting a trigger warning. Like, if Jay Schlatt said a racist remark, then put trigger warning racism. Don't put just Jay Schlatt, as that is dehumanizing him as a whole, and you're basically discrediting any good thing he's ever done or any somewhat normal thing he's ever done, rather just the edgy joke, which I find scummy. Second thing I feel the need to cover is sensitivity on the internet. If you've been on the internet for more than 3 or 2 years in your entire life, then you would know that the internet's grown softer and softer as the years have, grown upon us, unless you're in like a Call of Duty lobby. That's a totally different world. And something else that I think could have got me backlash is I made an alleged on-screen joke, which this isn't getting me canceled, but I think that there's something I need to really address. When making my videos, I get really hot-headed as I'm really passionate about the videos I make, and for that video I was like, I don't think Jay Schlatt should be canceled because I find his humor funny. I think Dream's fine, and the cancellation on Dream was actually a joke. Like, it wasn't a joke, but it was pitiful. That's how it was a joke. I do not find funny, and nor do I think it's something that people should, be like, oh, that's something that you should be ashamed of. I think that's absolutely horrible. I'm only covering this dark topic as I really don't think my joke should have went this dark, but I feel like it did affect some people as, the incline and dislikes. If you were triggered because Jay Schlatt or I said, rapist versus the actual word, because we were using it in a different connotation, you need to understand what sarcasm is versus actually being serious. Here's a little piece of information straight from me. Context matters in situations. Finally, if you're new to YouTube and you're just into the Minecraft stand-up and you're like, oh, I don't like Jay Schlatt, so I don't like your video. I only like the Minecraft verse, not Jay Schlatt. You, my friend, unfortunately, I prescribe you one account to Twitter because your favorite creators are fans of Jay Schlatt along with me. And let me just say, there's a really good reason we're fans of Jay Schlatt, and that's because his edgy humor is something that most people don't do nowadays in fear of being canceled by some people like you. Edgy humor has its boundaries, and that's the last thing I'm going to be covering in this video, but I really want you guys to all understand being serious, being sarcastic, making a joke are 3 completely different things, and if you think they can all be conjugated in the same stance, then you're completely wrong. Now, the thing I've been talking about this entire video, the thing I say Jay Schlatt does best, dark humor. Dark humor is best described as a style of comedy that makes light on subject matters that are usually considered taboo, and I can give plenty of examples. Something some commenters argued to me was dark humor is very different from what JSchlatt does because JSchlatt is openly homophobic and racist. And to those people, you need to understand that people aren't perfect. Now, I made this argument in my video, but I really need to, expound upon this because I don't know if people are understanding. JSchlatt tweeting something versus saying it, two different things. JSchlatt saying something in 2018 versus now, totally different things, totally different realms. I would consider 2018, 2017 the peak of YouTube and all. I'm not endorsing that. I'm just saying people were way off the loose. Like, people were saying whatever they wanted, which I'm not, specifically saying and stuff are fine. I'm just saying that, I don't know, people were more bold when they said their stuff, and stuff was considered, okay back then, and people thought you can say a slur, that's totally okay, versus now when it's totally not okay. Now, I don't think I explained this enough, but the things I covered in my video were from years ago. The only one that was somewhat recent was a tweet, which was apparently fake. And there were plenty of LGBTQ plus people in my comment section saying they don't believe JSchlatt is, homophobic, and they don't believe he's racist, because they genuinely don't think that, and what he did, he had remorse for. He was sorry. The video also shines a bad light upon myself, because the person's Twitter thread that I was covering actually cut out every single time JSchlatt apologized. Like, when JSchlatt said the F slur, it was like, oh, I shouldn't have said that. He apologized after that, but the Twitter person cut that out. And to that, I apologize for the misinformation I spread by not adding that, because I personally didn't know it was there. I trust too much on people on Twitter, because you can't ever do that. And to the conclusion of my video, which I don't know if people would ever see come out of my mouth, I think dark humor has its limits. I kept my word and responded to every single comment, but the entire reason I'm making this video is because recently something appeared on the internet and people were making quote-unquote dark humor jokes out of it when I just found it unbelievably disrespectful and not funny. If you weren't informed, Jacksepticeye's dad recently died, and there were people on the internet literally joking about that. Shame on you. Joking about someone's death really is a sensitive topic, and I know people are gonna say snowflake on the internet, and I agree that some people are too sensitive on the internet, but joking the second someone's family member dies and they're just distraught about that, that can cause super bad things to happen to that, direct person. If I would ever come out and say someone in my immediate family died to you guys, and, I had to say I'm taking a break because of that, and I got comments saying, LOL, your grandma died, or LOL, your mom died, I would be distraught. I would probably never come back. And at that point, dark humor is a dark humor. Dark humor is simply, in the scheme of things, just being a scummy individual. My condolences go out to Jacksepticeye and his family, and to hell with all the people that joked about it. So yeah, that's just my take. I'm just some teen boy that thinks dark humor can be funny in instances, but also extremely disrespectful in others. Blatant jokes versus laughing that someone's parent died is completely different, totally two different things, and the people that laugh about someone's death, they honestly are gonna have it coming to them sooner or later. Yeah, that's my entire stance on JSchlatt, dark humor, and cancellation. If you disagree, leave a comment, as I expect backlash on this video too, because I'm being completely open with my videos from now on. I do not want to appeal to narrow-minded individuals, nor will I ever do that ever again. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing. It means a lot, and I'm trying to hit 3K as fast as possible. We're basically speedrunning it. Sorry for the somewhat monotone, depressing video, but I really felt like I need to speak my word on this topic. With that all being said, Discord and the link in the description below if you want to argue for some reason, or if you just want to meet a nice community, make some friends maybe. Twitter in the description, TikTok if you have that godforsaken app. See y'all in the next one. Later. Peace.